going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. This is my dad in front of me on the Beta 200. I think it's a 2022 Beta. Just climbing through the mountains really well on that thing. See my brother up ahead. Well, not anymore, but yeah, my dad's been riding since he was a kid, riding these old Yamaha, 1960 something Yamahas. He grew up on Yamahas, so that's what he used to ride. They were high performance, not as reliable as Honda, but they were way higher performance. To him, these bikes are just crazy good as far as reliability. And when he was riding as a kid, you had to work on your bike for a couple hours after each ride. They say, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say for every hour of riding you did, you had to work on your bike for 2 hours. So his maintenance has kept up really well on even his new bike. A lot better than mine is. I do a lot more riding than I do maintenance, but it catches up to me every once in a while. But yeah, that Beta 200 is so far from what he grew up riding. It's got oil injection, which isn't a new concept, but the suspension on that thing is amazing, and how lightweight that bike is compared to anything back in the day. It's got electric start. To put an electric start on anything a while ago, it was automatically a heavy lard of a bike. Riding styles back then were a lot different as well. You used to sit down a lot. The bikes were real low to the ground, really low center of gravity. So falling off of a bike back in the day was kind of difficult to do, really. But these bikes are so tall. Our trail was supposed to go that way. According to my calculations, we took a wrong turn. There was definitely a structure up here that burned. But the trails back in here are really well taken care of. Somebody has cut a lot of the deadfall out of the trail, so makes things a lot easier. Yeah, a lot of these cuts are fresh. Where there's a lot of dead timber, and a lot of the stuff that's still standing is it's dead. So this stuff will fall like crazy, especially in the wintertime. So in the spring, a lot of riders come in here and just clear it out. I don't ride Stanley very often, but I'm definitely glad that the trails are well taken care of. For the most part, it's been very rideable for most skill levels, I would say. except for there is some exposure. So if you have a thing about exposure, I wouldn't ride this trail. In fact, I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing it solo for most people. Even a really good rider can get sideways and throw your bike off the side. But for this trail to be cleared of all the deadfall right now, that requires a lot of maintenance, because these trees are falling every windstorm. I mean, a couple weeks at a time, you'll have several down trees. So we have yet to run across one tree across the trail. A buddy of mine was talking about clearing some trail in an area. He did it 2 weeks prior, before a big ride he was going to do. And so he cleared it all out. And then 2 weeks later he did that section and it was completely covered in deadfall. So that's how quickly things can change. There are no shortage of trees out here and no shortage of dead trees for sure. My grandpa always said that he felt like he could do everything that he could do in his 30s when he was like in his 70s. That always stuck with me. I'm like, how do you feel that way? And that's a great way to feel. But he was working the ranch up until his 80s. But he was feeling great in his 70s. And that's a shocker to me. I mean, clearly, when you're... But there are 60, 70, 80-year-olds who feel great, and I think that's a goal right there. Most people that age kind of shuffle around. They're in pain a lot, and that's just from inactivity 99% of the time. And if you get injuries, it can really slow you down. A lot of factors come into play. Mostly feeling sorry for yourself will kill you. So that's a goal for sure, to stay extremely fit for as long as possible. Feel like you can go out and explore and enjoy life for as long as possible. But my dad, he is in his mid-60s. He is the guy in front of me right here. That's why I bring this topic up, because it's nice to be able to stay in shape enough to ride your motorcycle into your 60s, preferably in your 70s and 80s even. I think Malcolm Smith still rides. He's in his 80s or 90s. This has been a trail that is, I would say, the perfect difficulty. You have to have some stress. I mean, that's why we're out here. Some stress is good. We're running from the saber-tooth. So you gotta hit some side hills a little bit. We're out here to explore and enjoy the scenery, smell the fresh air, and see what country that we haven't seen before. But we're also here to test our ability and hone our abilities. I think it's important to do that. I've said that lots of times, but I think it's really important that we keep our senses sharp and it has an immediate effect almost of sharpening your senses when you come out here and ride. Like my dad, he hasn't ridden in a long time, like months. He came out and he wasn't feeling good for the first while, but then all of a sudden he started feeling it again and started being able to ride. And that's what motorcycling really does. Dirt biking out here in the mountains, these side hills are no joke, and it puts you in a little bit of stress sometimes, and that's good. You should be in a little bit of stress. It wears you out a little bit, it stresses you out a little bit sometimes. And then when you get through that section, you're excited that you got through it. You get to the next one, you have some beautiful scenery. A lot of the rugged sections may not necessarily be the most scenic, but they could be. But then once you get through them, you're able to slow down and enjoy the new scenery. There's always something new around the corner. You're rewarded for every single time you struggle, because you will see something new. We just went up to that mountain top, and we summited the mountain, went up to that structure that had burned down. That was an awesome view up there, and you could miss something like that if you didn't do it. If you, for one, didn't do it, and for two, were just too freaked out and forgot to just sit back and enjoy the view. It's definitely important not to get too stressed out to where you don't enjoy what's in front of you. So many times we get this tunnel vision where we think one thing is so important, but then looking back on it, it's like it was just a piece of dust in the wind. The entire experience was what was important. It's important also, on a completely different topic, to well, it is kind of the same topic as I was just talking about, staying loose and enjoying the moment. That's also going to help you survive, because these little rocks will throw you around. If you open up your legs a little bit, get a little bit loose and allow things to move around a little bit, allow balance to happen, then you're much more likely to stay on two wheels. But if you get too tense, then these rocks will throw you around like crazy. He threw that right in front of me. That was almost a face planter. That's what I get for following so closely, trying to get good video footage of riders in front of me. Yeah, if you follow somebody closely, you're throwing extra variables at yourself, that's for sure. But one of the reasons racing is dangerous. They block your vision, so you can't you can't really prepare for obstacles the same way. And also, they will move things. So even if you do see them coming, the rider in front of you will move a lot of the rocks around. So it's definitely much more difficult riding with somebody in front of you. Sometimes. People say that I ride solo quite a bit. I get that in emails a lot. Hey, if you're looking for somebody to ride with and whatnot. Oh. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little tired.
Holy smokes.
I'm halfway over the wall.